Imagine opening your eyes for the very first time. No memories, no assumptions, no context, just the world, raw, unexplained, incomprehensible. For a brief moment, everything is extraordinary. The color of the sky, the shape of your hands, the sensation of breath filling your lungs. But this feeling does not last. Wonder is fragile, and soon the extraordinary becomes ordinary. You stop noticing, you stop asking why, because to wonder is to be vulnerable. To question the world is to admit you do not understand it, and ignorance is uncomfortable. So, you build a fortress of certainty. You name the things around you. You call this a tree, you call this water, you call it reality. But what if it isn't? What if the world is not as obvious as it seems? What if you have been sleepwalking through something far more profound? Philosophy begins when you stop taking the world for granted, when you look at reality as if for the first time. This is the Garden of Eden, not just the paradise of religious texts, but the state of wonder, the moment when the world is strange and you're awake. But humans are not content with wonder. They are not content to gaze in awe. They demand knowledge. They demand certainty. And so they name the world. They classify it. They turn the unknown into familiar. But this naming in itself is a kind of forgetting. The moment you call the sky sky, you stop seeing its vastness. The moment you call the ground solid, you forget the billions of nothingness trembling beneath your feet. To name something is to strip it of its mystery. And in doing so, we lost the garden. Our wonder faded in the quest for knowledge. To survive is to focus, to prioritize, to ignore. But to sleepwalk through life is not to live it. Philosophers are those who refuse to sleepwalk. They return to the garden. They question what others accept. What is the nature of reality? What does it mean to exist? These are not idle questions nor distractions. They are the only questions that matter. To ask these questions is to be human. To stop asking is to forget what you are. Most people live with this forgetting. They grow older, but not wiser. They know the price of everything and the value of nothing. They are born into the garden and they are cast out. But the garden is not lost. It is not a place. It is a state of mind. And you can return. All it takes is a question. Why is there something rather than nothing? Reality is the oldest trick in the book, and you are the audience. You sit quietly, watching, nodding, accepting, because that is what you were told to do, to trust what you see, to believe what you hear, to call this world real because everyone else does. But what if it's all just a performance? Imagine a magician, a black top hat resting on a polished stage. He reaches inside and pulls out a rabbit. The audience gasps, they applaud, but no one asks, where did the rabbit come from? Where was it before? This is how people see the world. As a trick, a spectacle to be observed, not questioned. Consider this. Atoms are composed of electrons, electrons composed of quarks, quarks composed of nothing. They have no known internal structure. How can that be? How can something come from nothing? You accept the existence of reality, but you can't explain it, and you are not alone. Philosophers have been staring from the rabbit's fur for thousands of years. They build theories, invent stories, they call it science, they call it faith. But deep down, they know the rabbit should not exist, and neither should they. You believe you were born into a world that makes sense, a world of order, a world of rules. But order is a lie. The world is not neat, it is not stable, it is chaos, dressed in illusion. Like the magician's trick, you see only the ending. You miss what came before. You miss what lies underneath. But what would happen if you started looking inside the hat? You would see it for what it is, not a trick, not magic, just the unknown. And the unknown is terrifying. It has no shape, no answers, no meaning. You stare into it, and it stares back. This is why you look away, why you cling to the illusion, why you pretend the trick is real. But reality does not care what you believe. It does not care that you feel safe. It only is. You must decide whether to look. The simple fact that you're here means that you're not satisfied. You feel it. You wonder. You wonder, not because you want to, but because you cannot stop. But wonder comes with a cost. To look beyond the trick is to risk madness, to pull apart reality and find nothing. Are you ready for that? Or will you sit back down and pretend the trick is real? We're going to slowly unravel these questions by taking a descent through the history of thought, where reality bends and your certainty crumbles. You're part of the trick, looking up, trying to catch a glimpse of the great illusionist. This is where our journey begins. We've taken our first steps back into the garden, but ahead lies a deeper descent through the labyrinth of human thought. We'll encounter the raw power of myth in Thor, where gods personified nature's fury, the relentless inquiry of Socrates, who dismantled certainty with a single question, the vision of Jesus, who redefined existence itself, the cold elegance of Charles Darwin, and many, many more. Each figure offers fractures and cracks in the illusion we call reality. How can something come from nothing? Let me know what you think in the comments.